What's up, Fiber family? Welcome to the Pretty Twisted Yarns YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, and this is my little corner of the internet where I share all about my knitting, crochet, yarn dyeing, all of my fiber arts. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you have stopped by to spend some time with me today. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back time and time again to see what kind of shenanigans I have been up to. I have a lot to talk to you guys about today. It has been a while since I've recorded, so today is going to be chock full of yarny goodness. I'm going to talk about my trip to Rhinebeck, Woolen folk. I'm going to talk about some finished objects, some works in progress, some dream knitting. I'm going to talk about a new local yarn shop I have found, and some shop update at the end. So buckle up, buttercup, and let's get into the nitty gritty, shall we? Alright, you guys, if you did not already know this, I was taken to a trip to New York. My really good friends Johnny Bobo and a Lefty Knitter podcast, Aquila, the Bolins are amazing people, and spur of the moment, John and I, okay, so let me back up a little bit. This is how the story went. There was a hurricane, and he had said, hey, if y'all need somewhere to like bug out to, head on over. And I was like, yo, I kind of just want to like head over there just to party. And he's like, you don't need a storm to do that, bro. And then we just got to talking, and somehow he's like, hey, do you want to go to Rhinebeck? And I was like, yeah, but I'm like poor and broke, and my grandma lives here. We care for her, so like I couldn't leave, right? So we worked out something where my husband was able to stay here and take care of the kids and my grandma. John and Aquila flew me from Florida to their home in Baltimore, and I left my home, got on a plane, flew up there, we hung out, we picked their daughter up, and we headed to New York. In this trip was amazing. John is such a great driver. There was a storm, so it was nighttime. So I didn't see much on the drive up there, but like we got to stop, and I got some New York style pizza, and I just tagged along with them, and they covered, like, I can't even thank them enough. I would not have been able to go on this trip without them. Never in a million years would I have even thought I would get to go to Rhinebeck. So we get up there, we're staying at a bed and breakfast next door to Chevis. Tammy from Cinematic Skeins, Jessica Biscuit. I met Leah from Gratitude Knits, and that was just kind of who was staying at the same bed and breakfast that we were staying at. So got there pretty late, but we got to see some people, do a little bit of knitting, and then we crashed out. So in the morning, we got ready and we went to Woolen folk. Woolen folk was amazing. I had one goal, and it's exactly what John told me not to do. He's like, listen, girl, you gotta walk around and see everything before you make your purchase. Don't see something and spend all your money in one place. And I did exactly what he told me not to do. But I gathered from my family my birthday is October 27th, so my birthday was like in a week. So I got any like birthday money that anyone would give me early, and I wanted to buy a sweater's quantity worth of Dragon Hoard yarn to knit her Sanderson pattern. And it uses mohair. I've never used mohair before, so I went like straight to Dragon Hoard yarn, and I bought a sweater's quantity worth of yarn and spent my entire budget at one place, which is exactly what John told me not to do. But I'll show you that in works in progress. Tristan was amazing. she spent time helping me pick out the base, the yarn color, the mohair to go with it, and everything. So that was amazing. I got to meet Needles at the Ready, Kevin and Ray, so that was really cool. I met, I feel like I'm going to leave people out. I met so many people, and I had so much fun. Woolen Folk was very much my vibe. It was, and I told John, I'm like, okay, listen. I told John and Aquila, if I, all of a sudden, grab John by the arm and just like a 5-year-old because I'm terrified, please don't take it like in a weird way, okay? And so I did a couple times. He was like my safety net. I was like, you know, if I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed and unsafe and starting to get anxiety, I'm just going to grab you by the hand. But I got not like lost, but a couple times like I had to use the bathroom really bad, but there's so much going on. I just had to like go off by myself, and like I was okay. Like everything was fine. It was amazing. So after Woolen Folk, now keep in mind the day before this, I hadn't slept for, I think it was like 21 hours from traveling and everything like that. And then I slept before Woolen Folk, but I was exhausted. So we went to the roller rink, the Floxy roller skating party. I knew I wasn't going to skate, but I bought a ticket so I could go in and like watch everybody. And it was really exciting, but by this point I was so exhausted, I legit found a table and passed out, like, passed out on the table. And I missed seeing all my friends roller skate and stuff, but it's fine. John won an award, and he was wearing his Pretty Twisted Yarn shirt, so that was really cool. Chevis won an award, because, of course she did. She had an amazing knit on, and it was a lot of fun. So then we went back to the bed and breakfast, knit a little bit with everybody, and went to sleep because the next day was Rhinebeck. Rhinebeck is like freaking Disneyland. It was so much bigger than Woolen Folk, and it's you walk in, I mean, and like even the parking was like an amusement park. They're like, park here, park here, park here. So we all made it in, and there's like different barns set up, and we went into this one barn and we were like seeing animals and stuff, and it was pretty cool. We went into another barn that had like soak was there. There was a bunch of different vendors, and I was like completely overwhelmed. Deer in the headlights. I looked at Aquila and I was like, I couldn't focus on like walking through and seeing anything. So that part on Saturday, the first day of Rhinebeck, I didn't enjoy. Well, I enjoyed it. I'll get to that later. That part of it, I was overwhelmed by. I couldn't shop. Well, I didn't have any money left, but like I couldn't look at anything because it was just overwhelming. And then we went and walked around. I got something to eat. The lines were insanely long, and then we headed to the hill. That's where my place was. I do much better in that kind of a situation. So we found the hill. I saw people I knew. I saw Megan, who is Penny Moons on Instagram. She is, I think she's the Fibromancer on YouTube. I'll link everything down below in case I butcher anybody, but their name. I saw and met Jody and Tracy from the Grocery Girls. I had a couple people come up to me and be like, "Hi, Teresa, like I watch your podcast." And I'm like, oh my God, it was so cool. I had little goodie bags I was handing out to people. I went up to people and said hi. I even walked around and just went up to people who I didn't even know and said, "Hey, what you working on? You know, my name's Teresa. Here's a little goodie bag. It's nice to meet you." And it was really, really super cool. Got a lot of cool pictures. And this was awesome. So Adela and Jimmy from Lola Bean Yarn Co. I saw them at Woolen Folk, and they're running around. Like, I'm sure people are just overwhelmed and just getting, like, mobbed, right? But I saw Adela standing sort of toward the bottom of the hill waiting for, like, Jimmy, and I saw Gigi made it. Gigi was a little bit away from Adela, and I felt bad because I felt like she's alone. She's probably having, like, she's waiting for her husband. She's chill, but we kind of, like, made eye contact, and I was like, and she was like, so I went up and I was like, hi. You know, I just wanted to let you know that, you know, I really admire you, and I just said hi. I don't know all what I said, but, you know, she was so gracious and so loving, and I got a picture with her. I got a picture with her and Jimmy. I got a picture with Gigi Made It. They're just, it was just everybody I met. You know, I fangirl a lot over all of these people, but they're just people, and it was just really awesome. I had so much fun, and I can never, ever thank John and Aquila enough for taking me. And if I met you and I forgot to say your name, I am super sorry. I just met so many people and so much happened. But this gave me the strength and the courage to go to this local yarn shop that I had been looking at for about a year. Coconut's being rude over here, doing bad kitty stuff. Anyway, I went to this local yarn shop called Pan Banged Knits. I went in and said hi. And I had put on Instagram that I was going, so I think that, like, they knew I was coming, and I think they knew who I was. And I'm doing a trunk show there, so my yarn is in their store. So all of these things and all of this courage that I got from this experience has led to, you know, growth in my business, and it has led me to head out into my local community and make local connections. And when I walked in this store, it was the local yarn shop of my dreams. Like, everything I could have hoped for. It was like the doors opened up and the angels sang. The staff is amazing. I mean, the people are amazing. They have, like, the best products, because now they got Pretty Twisted Yarn. So I'm still doing, like, a trunk show, audition kind of thing to see, you know, if they will have my yarn on a more permanent basis. So we will see all that. But they have classes and open knit nights. They have Knit Shay Thursdays where you can go in, knit, crochet. They stay open a little later that day, so I have a knit group. I'm gonna try to go on Thursdays and get myself out of the house. Like, I drove a vehicle. I've left my house in the last month more times than I have in the last 18 months combined. I stopped at a gas station and put gas in a vehicle the other day. That was crazy. That was a really long intro, but in a nutshell, that was Rhinebeck and Woolen Folk. So, thanks for listening to me ramble about that. And I'm going to move on to finished objects. All socks. I have all of these finished socks, and they are all but one machine knit. Yes, this is true. I'm going to start with yarn that is not mine. This is a very special pair of socks. This is Dragon Hoard yarn. And this sock set was sent to me by a very special viewer, subscriber, enabler, friend. I'm not sure if she wants her name mentioned. Her first name is Michelle. Michelle, I love you so much. I can't remember the name of this sock set, but this was a surprise that she sent to me in the mail. And I cranked these on my Erlbacher Speedster. I did a 20 round 1x1 cuff, and I did a 3x1 ribbing. That seems to fit me really well. Better than just doing like a plain stockinette on my machine. I did a contrast heel with the set, and I did a contrast toe. So these are finished, blocked, ends woven in, all the things. Thank you again, Michelle, so much. I love them so, so much. They are very special socks to me. I have another pair of finished socks that were also cranked on my Erlbacher Speedster, who I call Pinkie Pie. I have a 64 slot cylinder, which means I can do a 64 stitch sock. This was a skein of Dragon Hoard yarn that I purchased called Running Up That Hill, which is a Stranger Things reference and colorway. And I just did stockinette. So I did a 20 round 1x1 ribbing. I think these were a 50 round leg. I like tall socks. On the machine you do a short row heel and you do a short row toe. Isn't this yarn beautiful? Running up that hill. So the rest of the yarn is my yarn. This is a finished pair, but I only have one because one sock is on display at my local yarn shop with my yarn. But this is a finished sock that is Pretty Twisted Yarns, and this is the colorway I would tie-dye for you. And it knits up really neato. I dyed it so that it knits up in a tie-dye kind of way. So again, a 1x1 20 round rib, stockinette, and you can kind of see the reason, it's a little bit harder to do, but the reason I like to do a 3x1 ribbing is because it just gives a little bit of a tighter fit, which I like. But for this, I really wanted to show off the colorway. So the mate to this is at my local yarn shop. And I have another pair that I hand knit. So you can see the difference. Everyone has different tension. My machine has different tension than my hand knitting. So it comes out different. But I do have a hand knit pair of the same colorway I would tie-dye for you. I knit these cuff down. I did a 15 round 2x2 rib, and I did like a tube because I didn't want to mess up the patterning, and I did a cut-in shadow wrap heel, which fits me better than a traditional cut-in like afterthought heel. And then I just did a basic like rounded toe for this pair of socks. So I have another pair. This was cranked on my Erlbacher machine. This is a colorway I have called Intergalactic. And I am so pleased with how this colorway came out. Again, dyed in a way that on a small circumference project you get flashing. And I've been working on doing some flat samples of my colorways to see how they look knit flat. And I've learned how to do that on my machine too. So that's awesome because I don't have to hand knit all of these. Do I have them? I do. I don't have to hand knit all of these samples. And this is what this looks like on a flat fabric. And this is just a tiny little sample. Like in a sweater or something, I would definitely like alternate rounds. But I think it would also like flash and pool. And I mean, I like groovy, funky stuff. So I mean, I would totally rock a sweater. But this intergalactic color, can I get the, let me see if I can get the sparkle. This is my Stardust base, which is Lurex, and it's extra super, super duper sparkly. So it kind of looks like stars on this colorway, which is really neato. So that's that. This is going to my local yarn shop. I'm going to put together like a little ring binder of like my colorways. Another pair. This is Jazz Hands. So again, cranked on my Erlbacher Speedster. Same story. 60 round leg. I like tall socks. But this is how Jazz Hands knits up, you guys. Isn't this so cool? Ooh. And I really love, I have no idea why it did this, but this is what I love so much about hand-dyed yarn. It's like, do, like, totally fine, and then bam, a yellow toe. Like, what the heck? I love that about hand-dyed yarn. So, Jazz Hands. This pair has been worn, so they're a little stretched up, but I'm going to show you anyway. Oh, wait, first, this is how Jazz Hands knits up flat. And this is No Sleep Till Rhinebeck, and these are stretched out because I wore them last night. So, again, it does this kind of like spiraling, semi-micro stripey kind of deal. And this just reminds me of driving back from Rhinebeck. Driving back from Rhinebeck was during the day, so I was able to see like I tried to get footage, and if I can, I'll insert like whatever pictures and footage, but I was just so like happy to be with friends and seeing the scenery that by the time I got my phone out to take footage, like we were somewhere else. So, but this is what the fall up there and in New York reminded me of, all the different colors. So that is No Sleep Till Rhinebeck, and that's how it knits up flat. So those are my finished objects, you guys. Alright, y'all. Now it is time for whips. I have 2 sweater whips. The first one I'm going to talk about is the yarn that I bought at Woolen Folk from Tristan of Dragon Hoard yarn. I am taking my sweet, sweet time on this sweater for 2 reasons. I don't want to make a mistake. I want to limit that as much as possible because I have never worked with mohair before, and I imagine having to frog it would be difficult. So, I'm going to show you the skeins. I am knitting her Sanderson pattern, which is a sweater pattern. And this is on her Fairy Tale DK, which is 100% superwash merino wool. 230 yards per 100 grams in the colorway Oxidized Pumpkin. Is this not beautiful? So she really took her time and helped me pick out a mohair pairing. This is on her Pegasus lace, which is, it looks like 72% kid silk, and then mohair. And the colorway is called Moon Eater. I can't quite make out the percentages, but it's 459 yards per 50 grams. Colorway called Moon Eater. It's soft, it's floofy, and I swatched, and this is what it looks like. Absolutely stunning. I'm so excited, and my goal is literally to have this done like next fall. I'm going to take my time on it. I'm going to savor every single stitch. I'm going to try not to make as many mistakes as I can. I haven't knit a lot of sweaters in my knitting career. So this, I mean, not that this is like a super complicated pattern, but it's not stockinette. It does have a stitch pattern to it. So I'm really going to take my time. So all I have done on it, and I haven't worked on it in a little while, but this is what I have done. Just a little baby bit start of the cuff. And a little bit of the arm. And the only size that I could find that I needed was Addie. My first introduction to like really good knitting needles was Addie, and I have not used my Addie needles in ever. I usually use Xiaogu or Signature, but I'm enjoying these. I'm enjoying these well enough. That's very exciting. Sanderson sweater. The next sweater that I have on my needles is a sweater that it's a cardigan. I've actually knit this cardigan before for my daughter when she's 10 now. I think she was like 5. So it was itty bitty. But this is the Antler Cardi by Tin Can Knits. It's paid for pattern. And I am knitting this in my Posh DK, and I'm knitting it in the colorway Stop Whining. How flippin' beautiful is a cardigan in this color going to be? I'd like to have this done and wear it on Christmas, but I don't know. I have one whole sleeve done. Do I have it? I do. Woo! So I have one whole sleeve done, and I'm doing like balloon arms. I'm not doing any arm shaping. I just did the cuff, and then I did the maths to see like how many stitches I needed to increase, and I did one round of increases, and then I'm just knitting because I like big, baggy, comfy, cozy sweaters. I don't like anything, especially like in a cozy sweater, to be too form-fitting. And this is how much I have done on the second sleeve. And I have this in the freaking coolest bag I got from Pam Bag Knits. I'm going to leave that all their information linked below because they do have an online shop. But I'm helical knitting. So basically what that means is I'm alternating skeins, and so that all of the yarn changes don't like line up, you offset it. Helical knitting. So all you have to do when you're changing your skeins is go like this, and then when you change again, you just go right back like that. Super, super innovative. And it has little swirls. So depending on how you tension your yarn, you can put it inside and have it come out like that. You can put it on the outside and have it coming through like that. And then it also has a little middle section where you can keep notions and such. So I adore this basket. I believe they have them in their online shop, but definitely check out all their stuff, their baskets. They've got like really cute, amazing products. So that is going to be my Antler Cardi for myself. I'm hoping to wear it on Christmas, but I'm not putting like too much pressure on myself. I don't have a lot of time to knit, which is why a lot of what I do is on my machine because it's fast. What else am I working on? I am working on kind of like, I haven't really touched it since my trip to Rhinebeck, but I did start a Musselburgh hat. I'm using my Lykke, Lykke, the really pretty nice wooden needles. And this is a colorway that I dyed that's just a one-off. As just plain. I didn't write down the recipe. But that's going to be my Musselburgh. And depending on how it fits or whatnot, I may gift this to somebody for Christmas. But I really haven't touched that. And that, no, I have more whips. Ooh, I'm crocheting something. Okay, so I also got this kit at Pan Banged Knits. They have these all-inclusive amigurumi crochet kits by Circulo. So this kit comes with literally like your hook, everything that you need. Tapestry needle, all the yarn. And I'm making this sweet kitty cat for my youngest for Christmas. I always say that I'm a selfish knitter. I'm not. I don't get asked by anybody often for hand knits. So I knit for myself. But my little, she really, and even Haley, who's 19, love my amigurumi. And I haven't made any amigurumi in quite a few years. But it's going to be that kitty, and I just have part of the head done. And I'm using it as a bowl right now. But this should be a pretty fast crochet project. I should definitely have this done well before Christmas. And I've been working on this when I go to the local yarn shop. That way she doesn't see me work on it. Because usually when she's at school, I could work on it, but I'm usually working dyeing yarn, so. So another whip that I have is a Cozy Memories blanket. So I cast this on. I'm probably not going to use like all Pretty Twisted yarns, but right now it's all Pretty Twisted yarns. That's the wrong side. Right now we have Retrospec, Party Pony, Macy Maid, Semi Charmed, and I'm adding Jazz Hands. And I am using my very special signature needle arts, and I'm using a size 3.0. Can't think of what that is in US, but these are like the needles that I am using specifically for this blankie. Signature needle arts are amazing. They're an investment, but like they're so beautiful to work with. So how I'm doing my Cozy Memories is, let me see if you can see maybe on this square better. I'm doing like a center, let me see. Yeah, a center double decrease, so it gives a little bit more of a defined ridge. And then on my purl side, well, not my purl side, it's garter, but on the wrong side, I'm doing a purl stitch where that decrease ridge is. So it's just a little bit more defined, just a different way to do it. I did a 49 stitch cast on, and you know, it'll probably take me like years to make because I want to make it big, like for our bed, which is why like it's amazing to have just a special pair of needles to make a specific project. So I'll probably, I know it won't be all, I don't have enough Pretty Twisted yarns for it to all be that, but I'm thinking about using some of my Dragon Hoard yarn Halloween Advent. I got the Nightmare Before Christmas version, so I'll probably put that in there. So I'm not really one to do knitting plans, but I do have some plans and some dream knitting, which will segue a little bit into shop talk, but I do have some dream knitting. So let's talk a minute about the Stephen West M cow. I gave up. I frogged it. I was only on like not very much into section 1. I wasn't really loving what I was seeing, and I really just thought I'd never finish it, and so I frogged it, And I had the lovely Peggy at Panbag Knits help me pick out another project that I'm going to be much more likely to wear, finish, and love. So I am going to be knitting the, I'm probably not going to say this right, but it's the Shisui Shrug by Suzanne Summer. It's a paid for pattern. It is a brioche shrug. Perfect for Florida because it's almost always hot, and you kind of, when you go into like a restaurant or something, not that I do that, but it's freezing cold. So I do, and we keep our house cold, so I do wear a lot of sweaters, and shrugs are perfect because I can just like throw it on, take it off when I have little like personal summers, if you know what I mean. So it's something that I can like put on, take off. So I'm going to use the yarn that I had dyed for the Twist and Turns MCal. And it's nothing against the pattern. Beautiful pattern. I mean, I don't have a lot of knitting time, and I didn't want to devote that much of my knitting time to a project that I wasn't going to love. So it is going to be in my colors Stop Whining, Popportunity, and Wisp. So it's a 2-color brioche. I've done brioche before, but not a lot, so it'll be a challenge, and it'll be fun, and I'll wear it. So that's gonna, I probably won't cast this on until after the holidays, to be honest. But that's what happened. Wah, wah, to my Twists and Turns. What you gonna do? I gotta talk to you guys about something. Listen. Okay, so I love Kay the Crazy Sock Lady, period. I mean, I just love her. But also her Scrappy Stripey sock recipe. And my plan was to do a Scrappy Stripey sock set for every, not every holiday necessarily, but season or holiday or whatever. So in September, I started working on the holiday / Christmas version of this sock set. And I knew in my mind what I had. I worked really hard on developing the colors that I wanted. In October, I had Orange is the New Black as that sock set. So this is what I came up with, y'all. And I promise you, I did not copy Whitney from Moonglow. She is the queen of tonals, you guys. This looks a lot like it. And no one has said anything to me, but I'm like, oh Jesus, this looks just like Whitney's set. It's not. I mean, you know, I haven't seen them side by side, but this is my Christmas at Tiffany's sock set. Then Kay announced she was releasing a new pattern called, I'll correct myself on the screen if it's wrong, but it's like Candy Cane Lane, and it's a colorwork pattern, and it's stripes. I'm knitting it. I'm casting on. I was going to do Scrappy Stripey socks with this, but I'm going to do her new pattern. But this, I developed, you know, the red, because I didn't want it to be just like red and green, basic, your traditional Christmas colors. And I'll pop a picture in right here of the colorway Breakfast at Tiffany's that I dyed. It's so pretty. I walked into my local yarn shop with it. It was something that they had ordered they were going to put on the shelves. And a lady literally grabbed them all and bought them all before they even hit the shelf. And I don't have one here with me. It's basically this color. It's like Tiffany blue. Christmas at Tiffany's is a novel. And I also am very proud of, and it's going to blow the camera out probably, but let me tell you a little bit about this white. This is my new colorway called Like a Virgin. I don't have, hang on, I do have an undyed skein. I'm going to see if you can catch this on camera or not. Okay, here it is up against, oh god, it's really blown out, I'm sorry. This is an undyed skein of yarn. This is how it comes with. This is Like a Virgin. they don't make a white yarn dye. It's not like painting where you can get a white, or it's not like light where there is white. So you kind of have to trick it. So what I did was I used my knowledge of color theory. I looked at this base and I not ruined, but I came up with a lot of skeins that were not white until I finally was able to make what I consider a white rather than like a cream or a bear. So that is the skein that is in Christmas at Tiffany's. So I have a couple of these in my shop, and we'll talk some more about this in a segment coming up here in a minute, because I do have something going on that will include this. But December 1st is when Kay is releasing that pattern I'm casting on, and I want to finish those in December, like for Christmas. I have two things that I definitely wanted to finish hand knit in December, and I'll talk about the other one when I get to my Advents. So, Christmas at Tiffany's. And these are each 20-gram skeins, 5 of them. That's all the plans I have for knitting, other than if I get a new colorway or something, I might crank a sock. I also offer cranking and caking services now. So if you need your yarn caked, add that to your cart and tell me which skein you want caked. I also offer a cranking service. So if you would like me to crank your skein of yarn into a 64-stitch sock tube, add that listing to your cart and let me know which skein you want cranked. If you want more than one skein, add however many skeins you want cranked, add that many listings to your cart. And I'm going to talk more in another video about what a sock tube is, how to use them, and what they're good for. It's good for quick gift knits. So that is all of my knitting plans. So I want to let you guys know what Advents I got and what I plan to do with them. Also, a little bit of acquisitions. I haven't gotten much, but I wanted to show you guys one of the most beautiful bags I've ever seen in my entire life. Made by one of my most favorite bag makers and humans, Stitching Plaza, Georgianne. I got her Lisa Frank bag. Because how could I not? How friggin' gorgeous. Georgianne makes some of the just most incredible bags. They're a perfect size. They're drawstring, which I love. So I got that. I got it a while ago, but I haven't podcasted in a hot minute, so you're seeing it now. So let's talk about what I got for Advents. I got, for the first time, the Cozy Knitter 24 stripe Advent. And I don't remember if it was a choice or not, or if it just came with it, but I did get the mini, which is 30 grams. I'm going to hand knit it. This is the other project for December that I want to stay on top of and complete. I want to do my stripe a day. I can't decide if I want to do toe up. I think I am. I think I'm going to do cream for the toe and do them toe up. That way I can knit all the stripes. And then I'm going to do the cream color shadow wrap heel so it doesn't disrupt the stripes. And then I can just keep on going until the stripes are all done, make them as tall as I want them to be, and then do the contrast cuff. So I have them in a bag I got last year from the Little Blue Robin. So they're in this bag. It's in this bag, ready to go. I haven't opened it yet. And the mini, it's just a cream color, but I'm not going to show it because this is all new to me. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody, but this is how it came. So I think what I'll do is I might go ahead and start the toe. so that I can do my stripes. Right? That's not really cheating. I could do what I want. I might start the toes. But anyways, this I want to have done and wear on Christmas Day. So that's the Cozy Knitter 24 stripe Advent. Then I got the Freckled Whimsy 24 stripe Advent skein with the 20 gram mini. And I got this last year and loved it, so I got it again. I will probably crank this pair. And you guys, I'm going to try to do Vlogmas. I'm going to try. It might not be a lot every day. And no one wants to see really like what my life is actually all about on a day-to-day basis. But I'll open my Advents, say hello, maybe show you what I'm dyeing, or whatever it may be. So, Freckled Whimsy, that's going to be machine knit, so I won't, like any photos I share of that will be in black and white until it's like all revealed because, I mean, I'll have those done in a couple hours on my machine. The Advent I have never gotten a multi-skein, like open everyday Advent. The only Advent I have ever had was last year's Freckled Whimsy 24 stripe, and I got a 12-day Stitch Miss from Hannah, the Corner of Craft, her hand-dyed yarn, Chromatic Yarns. I got, like, one day was a mini, the next day was a stitch marker. So I got that last year, but this year I got Lofty Loops. Allison is an amazing dyer. I tend to dye really like bright, in-your-face colors, and she's a little different. So I like to get yarn from dyers who dye a little bit different than I do. And I have that in here. I don't know how I'm going to display it like cute, but I have it all in here, like all the days. I don't want to show you anything. You know, they came in like cute little packets. I chose to get the fluff. It was an option to get a skein of fluff. There's a main 100 gram skein. And these are things that I learned for I am doing Advent again, 100%. Things that I learned starting earlier. This year I'm probably going to start mid-March, and I'm going to add like, oh, this is Freckled Whimsy. I'm going to add like a little card that explains it. And last year, well, this year's, was a little bit like hodgepodge. I'm going to try to do something more cohesive. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I'm learning a lot from having done this first year of Advents. And anybody who got my Advent, thank you. I hope you really enjoy it. But I got an email from Allison from Lofty Loops today that if you got their Advent, you were given a pattern, which was a surprise. It's called Slay All Day, and it includes the fluff. So that's what I'm going to be knitting, but I'm not going to try to finish it in December or anything like that. It's just, I'll open up all the minis, enjoy them, touch them, ooh and ah over them, and then go ahead and knit that shawl in the new year. So, very excited for all my Advents. Okay, my friends. I have something to talk to you about, and I'm asking for a little bit of help. As you guys have known, if you've been following along, I have taken Pretty Twisted Yarns full-time, and my husband is on board full-time as well. He is a retired Navy vet. We both have PTSD, and it's very hard for either of us to work outside the home. So we've taken Pretty Twisted Yarns full time, meaning now that that's covering all our bills, mortgage, everything. And it's been a struggle, even though my business is thriving, and I thank you all for all of your purchases, love, support, all of that. Some things have come up. Hospice is free, so it's not that so much with my grandma, but we're struggling right now to make ends meet. So to help with that, I'm going to do a raffle of sorts what I'm going to do is, on my website, I offer gift cards. So, for every, I have it written down right here, for every $5 you spend on a gift card, now it can be one gift card, and you spend $10, that's 2 entries. So every $5 in gift cards gets you an entry. And I also have a coffee account, which is kind of like a little tip jar. Buy me a coffee. For every $5 donation into my coffee account, you will get an entry. And I will show you in just a moment what the prize is going to be. And I'll leave my coffee account link down below. My gift cards can be purchased on my website, Pretty Twisted Yarns. I'm going to look down because I have notes written. I am going to close the entries on December 1st at noon Eastern. So between right now, which is, well, whenever you're seeing this, I'm recording right now. It is Friday, November 25th at 10:45 at night. But from whenever you see this, or if I'm going to send out an email also, until December 1st at noon Eastern, you will get one entry for every $5 you spend on a gift card or a coffee account. And a gift card, obviously, you could use later to buy Pretty Twisted Yarns or whatever you would like. Cranking service, whatever it may be. I'm going to draw names, and I don't expect to have like hundreds. It's going to be enough that I'm going to be able to go through, write names down, put them in a hat, and draw. And I'll do that. I'm going to draw names on the 5th, and I'll do that live either on Instagram or YouTube or both. And then I will announce the winner, and then once they contact me, I will send the prize out. The prize is a Christmas at Tiffany's sock set, and I don't have it here with me, but I have a surprise mini set bundle that I have put together. So the prize is worth about $100. So if you would just like to help kind of keep the ball rolling, our options, like, I'm just going to be totally transparent and honest, like I always am. Our options are kind of like go forward or stop. And I don't want to stop. I've put so much into Pretty Twisted Yarns. We love it. It is succeeding. It will eventually, pay all the bills and things like that. But we need to help keep the ball rolling. And because I work from home, and I can't really afford a studio, we need to be able to pay mortgage, and that's what we're struggling with right now, is keeping the house. So that's going to go a long way and help a lot. It's embarrassing. I haven't been doing as many reels as I need to do, podcasts, emails, all of those things are on me. I'm going to try and be more present with you guys. It's just difficult kind of with my grandma, but Pretty Twisted Yarns needs to stay alive and keep going and grow. I have things planned coming up this next year up until July. So, a lot is in the works. So, thank you so much. And I appreciate all the help y'all have given me in the past 18 months or however long it's been. So, that's going to segue now into shop update. I don't have a lot here to show you guys for shop update. I do have a few of these left. I am doing dyed to order. So if you go onto my website, which I'm working on all the time to try to make it a better shopping experience for you guys, I'm doing dyed to order because I can dye a lot more right now. But I've got some tonals. I have a section where if you want a sweater quantity of a colorway, you can contact me that way. I've got dyed to order No Sleep Till Rhinebeck. I've got dyed to order Intergalactic on whatever base you want that I offer. And if you want worsted or something that you don't see, email me. because I could probably get it. You know, jazz hands. I'm doing all of that dyed order. I do have some stock, and that is under my ready to ship section on my website. So that's the shop update. Plus, like I said, I am now offering caking and cranking services. So, you guys, that pretty much brings me to the end of this episode. I just hope you guys have a really amazing day. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye!